Curtis Jones is leaving Liverpool. A Premier League club is looking to sign Liverpool midfielder Curtis Jones before the summer transfer window closes. Still only 22 years old, the Englishman is on his way to becoming a truly important squad player as one of the best graduates of the youth system at Anfield. Not all was smooth sailing for Jones, whose form suffered from time to time. Not to mention the injuries holding him back, but towards the end of last season there were signs that he was really finding his form. The young player has benefited from enjoying a run in the first team, and as the number 8 she shone in her role as Gini Wijnaldum during her time at Liverpool. He scored a total of 3 goals in the Premier League last season. While Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai have joined the squad and have stepped up the competition for places in Liverpool's midfield, he could offer a performance that shows he's stepped up even more this season. However, it seems difficult for him to get a chance to play regularly. A surprise exit rumour has surfaced regarding Jones, and Crystal Palace seems eager to catch him in the coming weeks. The Eagles are considering a summer move for Jones and see him as a strong option to improve their midfield. It certainly wouldn't make sense for Liverpool to sell Jones at this point in his career. However, the player may be willing to go to a team where he can get more time. It was very much affected in the spring, and it has many years ahead of it to develop further. The fact that Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, James Milner, Naby Keita, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain have all left the team this summer makes it even more important to retain him. So it will be a big shock to see you suddenly go to the Palace. Whether Jones becomes a regular member of the starting lineup in 2023-2024 will depend on how Mac Allister and Szoboszlai conquer berths 8. But if Jürgen Klopp believes he deserves it, he won't hesitate to play him. The Liverpool manager described the star player, who recently returned from England's under-21 team from the European Championship, as fantastic. He's looking at a good moment in his career, in terms of being ready to take the next step and be a truly top-notch option for the Reds. A year or so ago, a divergence arguably made a little more sense. At this point, there was more doubt about its long-term value. But he showed what he could do when he was fit and fired. Klopp tried Jones in the number 6 position in the pre-season friendlies. Because Liverpool does not have a real number 6 in the squad and the Reds have a game tomorrow. However, it did not affect the performance here, but as number 8, it was much better. His contribution to the team in the last part of last season cannot be overlooked. It's definitely important for Liverpool to stay in the squad, but leaving the team could be more valuable in terms of increasing his own playing habit. How much Crystal Palace wants him will definitely be decisive in this transfer. Liverpool CEO Moises Caicedo is leading the negotiations. The Moises Caicedo saga has been a rollercoaster so far, with Liverpool CEO Billy Hogan spearheading negotiations for the Reds to replace the club's new sporting director. Liverpool had a wild 48 hours in the hunt for Caicedo, with Chelsea also on the transfer. Conflicting reports gave fans the whiplash as they hung on for each update. However, sources close to the club say that despite Chelsea's attempts to dwarf the Reds' British record fee of £111 million, Liverpool are still in pursuit of Caicedo. Chelsea are expected to test Brighton with another offer, but so far Liverpool are the only club to have reached a deal with the South Coast club. Billy Hogan, the CEO of Liverpool, has been working quietly behind the scenes to reach a deal with Brighton, according to the information reported. For a deal of this size, it's not exactly a surprise to see Hogan front and center instead of George Schmadtke. In the past, FSG chairman Mike Gordon has signed deals like this. So this can be seen as an FSG tradition. However, there is an interesting situation regarding Schmadtke, who stepped into the role after Julian Ward left at the end of the season. Schmadtke joined the club at the end of May and announced his position, which helped provide Jürgen Klopp with all the information he needed to make his decisions. He will no doubt be involved in the discussions for Liverpool's quick and big move for Caicedo, but it is Hogan who is leading the negotiations. It remains to be seen how Liverpool's business looks beyond Caicedo, whether it is formalized or not. But Schmadtke can be expected to do his own behind-the-scenes work in the meantime. The German sporting director announced in July that he had signed a 1-year contract with an option to leave at the end of August, after all parties evaluated the success of his 3-month spell. Schmadtke is of course thought to have a stake in this deal, but he is not at the forefront. The Reds' interest in Caicedo has already been there since last year. The Ecuadorian energy tank has been one of the shining players in Brighton this season. He's had a steady performance throughout the season and has the titans of the Premier League after him. Caicedo's style of play is exactly what Klopp wanted. He is an aggressive player towards the opponent and the ball, and his move timing is almost perfect. His dominance in the midfield is definitely the missing piece for Klopp's two offensive midfielders. McAllister and Dominic Soboslai's defensive stats are relatively weak compared to their offensive stats. That's why the number 6 needs a sharp name. Moises Caicedo fits that mold perfectly. If transferred, he can complete this missing piece on his own. Of course, it will not be an easy deal, but it is certainly an exciting transfer. Jürgen Klopp shared what Thiago recently came to talk to him privately. Thiago Alcantara has come to speak privately with Jürgen Klopp to discuss his role at Liverpool this season. The Reds midfielder is heavily linked to his departure from Anfield this summer. While parties from Saudi Arabia are reportedly keen on him, there are serious doubts as to whether Thiago will stay at Liverpool. However, the 32-year-old, who has seemingly denied any advances by interested parties, looks set to continue at Liverpool. Jürgen Klopp has now confirmed this and also talked about the status of number 6. Now his training, he came in and asked about his role and we talked. Super veteran player, he excelled in that division. He's only been in team training for a week but he's very vocal, he'll be very helpful for us, he said. Given all the uncertainty about who will form Liverpool's midfield this season, that's really great to hear. Given that he's been injured since February, some may have forgotten, but Thiago is still pure quality. Even after the arrival of Dominic Soboslai and Alexis McAllister, there is a strong argument that the Reds are the best midfielder. At the very least, his presence will help these two players a lot. Especially native Spanish speaker McAllister should be able to feel the full benefit of his presence on the roster. There is no doubt that Thiago will continue to make an excellent impression for Stefan Bajcetic. The duo developed a real understanding as the 18-year-old left last season, and that can now continue. Unfortunately, we are likely to have entered the final year of Thiago's stay in Merseyside. If things don't change during the season, he'll be leaving in a year with a free transfer. Despite showing brilliant points so far over his 3 seasons at Liverpool, his term at the club has been severely injured. If it will be his last campaign at Anfield, fans will expect more from Thiago in 2023-2024 than the first and much less than the second. There is still a big role to play for the Spanish maestro. Since he is in form, there is no one else who can make the impact he will have on the team. This season may be his year and he may leave with an aged wine taste in the mouth.